Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, at Couchpreneur Sales. Hey, I wanted to talk about how important it is to make sure that you're auditing what you're doing when you're not on the sales call, right? When you're not at work. Making sure that that version of you that exists when you're on the sales floor is protected, right? And that version is you when no one's watching, right? When no one else is around, what are you doing? That version is the one that determines how good you're actually going to become. Anybody can show up to a sales meeting. Happens every day. Kidding me? Anybody can make their calls when their manager is watching. Anybody can say they want to be great. I hire people all the time. They tell me they want to do this, they want to do that in terms of income. But guess what? Get them out on the field. Get them trained. Get them dialing. Effort sucks, right? So people say they want to be great all the time. But do you want to be great every single day? And a lot of what you're doing off the phone is actually impacting your 9 to 5 or your time or whenever you're making your calls and you're allocated in there. I think the main question is that you need to ask yourself every single day is, what am I doing when nobody's watching, right? Are you studying? Are you sharpening your craft? Are you reading? Are you watching people who are better than you? You know, success leaves clues. I'm the type of guy, I'd rather get the lessons without the scars, wouldn't you, right? Instead, you're wasting your time floating through life. You got a sales job. You're watching the football games. You're doing all the bull crap. You're not focusing on your skill. You see, with more skill, you can go to the games, okay, whenever you want. There's a difference. So it's all about what you do off the phone, right? Like I said, watch people who are better than you. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your body. Am I drinking enough water? Am I training? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I spending time with my friends and my family? Am I developing interest outside of work? Got to have hobbies. You know, becoming elite isn't all about sales, okay? It's what you do outside of sales. It's about the person that you're building when nobody is there to give you credit for it, right? It's like when the lights are turned off, that's when you put in all the work, man. These people who you're looking up to, like, they put in the work, man. Whether it's through reps, getting off the call, listening to the call, evaluating themselves, whether it's listening to all these guys and borrowing what they're saying and then saying it, all of those things matter, right? And you look, you also, like, you have to build your library, okay? What do I mean by that? I mean a legit library. Like, if you want to become exceptional at sales, you need to become a student of sales, okay? Read books, listen to audiobooks, study negotiation, study psychology, study communication, study human behavior, study people who have already accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, my gosh, you live in the easiest time in the world to win, dominate at the highest level. You know, there's YouTube, everything else that exists out there. You got guys like Tony Robbins, right? Brian Tracy, he pretty much recorded his whole life. Zig Ziglar, Dale Carnegie, Chris Voss, right? Think of other ones. Tom Hopkins, Grant Cardone, Jeb Blunt. Don't just consume information either. Like, you got to get in there, get the notebooks out, and start writing things down, okay? Study it. Ask yourself, what is this person actually teaching? Why does it work? How could I apply this to my sales process? Why would this sound like one of my calls? Like, what is this going to sound like if I get it rolling, I get it on the call? What would this sound like on one of my calls, right? Let's go test it, right? Because there's a massive difference between consuming sales content and developing sales skills. A lot of you guys say, oh, yeah, I took a sales training. Oh, really? You did? Why can't you close anything, man? Obviously, you just consumed it. You didn't develop it, okay? There's a difference. Like, you have to have intent and purpose in what you're doing. I don't know how else to stress that, right? So, watching a sales video, sure, you may feel productive. Like, oh, yeah, I'm fine-tuning my skills. I'm watching a video. Dude, you didn't take one note. You're acting like a loser. It just is what it is, right? So, if you're talking about you want to make X amount, you got to do the things that X amount of people would do, right? No one's going to ever just give you money. You have to become the person that gets that kind of money. And the market rewards people for their skill. That's what it is. That's all it is, right? It's the real world. So whether you're cool or good looking, none of that matters. If you got skill, you got skill. You get paid for it, right? So you have to put in the work and have intent behind your study. That actually helps you learn. Read things out loud. Say them out loud 10, 20 times, as much as you need to. And what that does is it really ingrains it in the membrane, okay? So, hey, another thing that I would do too, especially something, I do it daily. I think every single day probably would consume about an hour of YouTube education. I think if you can view YouTube, I even joke with myself, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to Esposito University today, so it's all about holding yourself accountable. I actually train every morning 4 to 5 a.m. I have it on my Google Calendar, different topics and subjects, and I just sit there and listen and wake up and take notes and write down what I'm learning in that moment. I think it's a great way to wake up. It's a great time to do it. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks. I don't think I ever want to do that anytime I ever do it. But, however, it is a good tone setter for the day because it gives me good topics to talk about. I'm learning and hearing from experts. And then the other thing, each day you should switch the subjects, like psychology, communication, and basically different speakers, sales. Obviously, I always start Monday with sales. Okay? I think that's huge. But you got to use YouTube like a university, right? You have access to some of the greatest salespeople also. Entrepreneurs, you think of Alex Hormozy, guys like that. My gosh, the list goes on and on. There's even great communicators. His name's slipping. I think Jeff Fisher, maybe is his, or Fisher, I don't know. But anyway, and negotiators and business leaders, and it's all for free. So I think people actually miss out by not using it. Go watch Tony Robbins speak. Are you kidding me? Watch Chris Voss explain negotiation. Watch Jeb Blunt talk about prospecting. Watch Grant Cardone talk about activity and conviction. Watch people who are operating at a level above where you're currently operating. But don't sit there. Like I said, don't sit there. Watch video after video. It's not entertainment. It's about getting better. Okay? Will it make your brain hurt? Well, yeah. Okay? You've worked all day, now you're doing this. Or you're up early and you're doing it. Okay? It's just a cycle. But it's all about getting better. The more you study and then you implement into your day, the more you're learning, the more you're talking about it, you're getting really good. So take notes in the video, pause the video, write down the framework, listen to how they talk, listen to their tonality, listen to how they structure their arguments, listen to the words they use, and then ask yourself, how can I steal the principle without stealing the personality, right? You got to still be yourself. Your goal isn't to become Tony Robbins, right? Your goal is to become the best version of you, but you got to almost take all of these little micro skills and macro skills from these people who have done it at the highest level, and then obviously with time you'll get better, but it's all about repetition breeds skill. So you have to constantly be learning, you constantly be applying, constantly putting in the dials, get the people on the phone, boom, right? That's pretty much how it works. So build your body, okay? That's something I wanted to talk about, right? For me, I feel like it's not about, I would say, arrogance or anything like that by any means. When I say build your body, I mean literally working out and taking care of yourself and feeling good and dressing good. It has something to do with sales, okay? It actually affects how you carry yourself. It affects your eye contact. It affects your handshake. It affects your ability to ask good open-ended questions, the uncomfortable questions sometimes. So, your physical condition matters. You need to drink water, work out, move your body, eat like you actually care about your performance. You don't need to become a professional athlete or stand in front of the mirror and do all that weird stuff. I don't think that at all. But you should have enough discipline to take care of the machine you're asking to perform every day. Just look at your body as a money-making machine. How can I always make sure that this money-making machine can be fine-tuned, right? You have to realize, sales, it requires energy. It requires concentration. It requires emotional control. It definitely requires resilience, right? You're asking your brain to process information, read people, communicate clearly, handle rejection, maintain tonality, think strategically, and make decisions for hours at a time. So you got to take care of the darn hardware, right? Treat yourself good. Don't eat the junk. Eat the good things. Drink a lot of water. Move around. Be active, right? If you're not active, your body starts doing weird things, okay? Your body starts doing weird things. things growing on you, popping on you, off you, right? But I'm really joking around. In all seriousness, when you take care of yourself, the amount of chemicals that are released, the oxytocin, the endorphins, all of those things, they actually are called feel good. That'll make you feel good, right? So you'll get out there and you'll be a different person. You'll see from a different light. And I think that's what it's all about, is just really viewing yourself as a machine, a money-making machine. How can I make sure that the money-making machine is always taken care of, right? And that's how you want to operate. So having a life outside of sales, okay? I think we all need to have a life outside of sales, okay? And what do I mean by that? Look, I don't want you to overlook this. You need hobbies, okay? Everybody needs hobbies. You need hobbies. It is what it is. You need hobbies, okay? You need things that have absolutely nothing to do with sales. Okay? Go play kickball. Shoot. Go play pickleball. Go play catch. Lift weights. Run. Go play with your kids. Play golf. Travel. Build something. Whatever it is, find something you genuinely enjoy. Whether it's building Legos, to playing Xbox, to walking your dog, to building chairs, like whatever it is. And you should go all out in that, right? Like everything you do, whether it's your hobby, to just taking a walk, thinking, even thinking, you should think as hard as you can, right? But my main point here is, I tend to go down rabbit holes sometimes, but the main thing here is, whatever it is, like, just find something you genuinely enjoy that's outside of sales. You cannot spend every waking hour thinking about work and expect your mind to perform at its highest level forever. You need to detach. You need experiences that have nothing to do at all with your dials, your talk time, your pipeline, your revenue. And most importantly, you should spend time with your parents, your mom and dad, your brothers and sisters, your children, your spouse. Your family should not get whatever energy is left over after you give everything you have to your job. That's weird. Like, why are you working so hard? It's like so they can have a good life. Okay, so that doesn't make much sense. So be present, put the phone down, have dinner together, play with your kids, call your parents, spend time with the people who actually matter, because you're not building successful salespeople just so you can, go and stare at the CRM all day and do all this stuff. No, we're building it so you can have great lives. That's why you're doing all this stuff, right? Not for the nonsense. So, what was another thing I wanted to talk about today? Yes, don't confuse balance with complacency, okay? Now, here's the other side, right? Having a life doesn't mean lowering your standards, okay? You still need to craft your skill set relentlessly, okay? Watch your calls, review your losses, study your wins, practice your objections, role play, read, take notes, like ask better questions, learn psychology, learn negotiation, learn business, learn how people make decisions, right? Learn how to talk. Half of you don't even know how to talk right, okay? You see someone out in public, you got all this weird social anxiety. It's like, aren't you a salesperson? That's so weird to see. Okay, like, learn how to communicate, and then do it again, and 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 do it again. And you need to be ruthless and relentless when it comes to yourself, right? And I'm not for everyone, and that's fine, but when it comes to yourself, I believe in truly being, what's the word I'm looking for? Truly being honest with yourself and not lying to yourself. And if you say you're going to do something, do it. And if you say you want something, go get it. And whatever it takes to do that, you got to do it, man. So, just realize this, that nobody accidentally becomes elite. You become elite through deliberate practice. The best athlete in the world, it's like they don't practice when their coach happens to be standing there. No, it's like, and same with the musician, okay? The best musician doesn't practice only when somebody's listening. The best salesperson doesn't study only when management assigns homework. Okay? They do it because they've decided, this is my craft, and I'm going to be the best at it. You shouldn't be in sales if you don't want to be the best at it either. Like, I hear that all the time. They're like, I'm cool with being number 3, and I'm not always the number 1 rep at my company. Well, shoot, you should be. Dang, baby. That pocketbook's hurting after 5 years of you not caring if you're the best salesperson. I guess I just don't understand that. And selling is helping too. So I'm not coming at it from that angle. I'm just saying the facts are the facts, right? So this is the real test, okay? This is the real test. I want you to think about tonight, not tomorrow, not Monday, but tonight when nobody's watching, okay? Hey, am I getting better? Am I reading? Am I studying? Am I training? Am I taking care of my body? Am I building relationships, whether it's for work or outside of work, that are going to continue to propel me to that next level, okay? Am I spending time with people I love and care about, right? Am I developing good hobbies outside of work? Okay, are you reviewing your calls? Are you learning from people operating at a higher level? Are you putting in the reps? Because eventually what you do privately becomes visible publicly, okay? Your confidence comes from preparation, the skill, repetition, results, execution. And the character is built in the moments when nobody's there to applaud you. So don't ask yourself whether you're working hard enough when everyone is watching. Ask yourself, what am I doing when nobody's watching? Because that's where the real work happens. Eventually the results will follow. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I will see you in the next one. Hey, make sure you like and subscribe too, right? Get updates. All right, I'll see you in the next one.